Next up, we've got Michael from VA, Virginia, I believe that is, maybe.
Yeah.
What up, Michael?
Right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can.
Okay, great. So I guess I'll try to keep it right to the point. Thanks for taking my call, John and Paul, and would love to get your opinion on this. I believe that belief in God is incredibly rational and can be described in a logical, scientific way that people understand and can actually believe exists. But it's very different from what the Bible says God is. You kind of have to throw out almost all of the Bible, but there's a lot of truth that Jesus said as well. I think we can all agree with that.
Okay, so you're saying, are you not a Christian?
I was raised Catholic, but I didn't believe it my whole life. I was an atheist my whole life. But I believe in God now. It's just more pantheism / kind of atheist-style Buddhism.
And when you say rational, you mean essentially that no one could definitely prove you wrong, and so therefore you have a window of plausibility that you find comfortable.
A window of possibility. So I'm basing everything only on the law of non-contradiction. So if the law of non-contradiction can be broken in reality in some way, like in a concrete, true way, then I'm definitely wrong.
Okay, so you are essentially describing what I meant was, unless someone contradicts you, you're going to hold on to this, as opposed to
I think
where John and I are.
You're trying to pin me. Hang on. You're trying to pin me as an idealist. If you prove to me that I'm wrong, I will change my mind.
Okay, so Michael, I was not trying to label you. I was trying to get clarification on how you describe rational. So I'm sorry if
the labels are just kind of how you organize them in your mind. Maybe I thought that's what you were getting at. My mistake then.
No. So just very like in one sentence, you would describe rational as what?
Oh, just logical. I know that's synonymous, but that's why I said the law of non-contradiction. I think that all other logic is derived from that as your starting point.
Okay. So
okay.
And where do we go from here, John?
Well, I can take it from here. I just wanted to give you the hypothesis before I explained why I know that.
Okay, do it.
So, essentially, if you think about God and theology, I'll just try to cut to the chase. So you're aware of that the law of emergence, things could basically have properties that are described by the interactions of the component parts of that system. That's essentially how we understand how our consciousness is arising. We at least have two brains. Likely we have the evidence that there's multiple conscious modules in the brain that all communicate, likely with the default mode network that creates your consciousness. So the theory is that consciousness is the integration of information, kind of like IIT, if you've heard of that. And the whole thing that's happening is that we start with just random quantum fields that interact in every way possible because there's no time for quantum fields. And then that creates logic and structure and causality in the only way that can actually happen at all by collapsing all those possibilities to the one possibility, which is the universe, which is why there is a plan, there is a God. It is the mind of the world, and by extension, the universe, probably through quantum entanglement stuff. And time.
How did you rule? So you're by rational, you're saying this should be an option on the table, right?
Yeah, I think that this is the inevitable conclusion that everyone is coming to all over the place, all over the world throughout time. Yeah.
Obviously not everyone, right? Because not everyone's even thinking about this.
Inevitably, I mean, in the future, everyone will, I think, will understand this.
Okay, but you know that you can't know that.
I think I can know that the law of non-contradiction is true.
No. You can't know.
Way up from there, yeah.
But you can't know that in the future this is what's going to be the popular theory.
Oh, I can't know for certain, but I love thinking about the future, and this is my theory. Yeah, I can't know.
Maybe we all get wiped out by a solar flare, and we stop doing this. There's options.
Well, there's
a
way out of that. So eventually, we're going to transfer to kind of like machines to be purely informational, and time is going to be dilated. So we'll actually have infinite time, even if we don't escape the planet.
So, Mike, you put forth that your God idea is an option on the table, that it hasn't been specifically contradicted, therefore you're rational holding it. Is that what you want us to agree to at this point?
don't want you to agree to it. I mean, for the sake of it, I want to get your opinion on if you also agree that it is an option on the table that's rational.
I don't.
Okay, then tell me why.
Well, because nothing supernatural has been demonstrated. John and I's epistemology is very different.
I didn't claim anything that was supernatural. I'm sorry to interrupt, but people always make this mistake. I didn't claim anything was supernatural. I claimed an entirely
when you said the word, process. When you said the only explanation for this is God. If you don't mean a supernatural God, what do you mean?
I mean the emergent direction that the communication between all humans has on the future, on the deterministic future.
So, hold on. Your definition of God is not supernatural. Your definition of God is some eventual emergent property?
The unification of all minds is the one, yeah. I know it sounds crazy. Sorry, guys.
I don't know why you're labeling that God.
Oh, well, because it's still something distinctive, and the reason why is to essentially obliterate old world religions by pulling them to our side, by teaching them that there's stuff that they're right about, and it can be incorporated into logic and science and reason. We can unify these things together.
Honestly, I don't know how this is practically useful in reality or how this practically describes
that. I've thought about this for years. I could go into determinism and why determinism is true and why we don't have free will and why that's actually the best thing for humanity. But I didn't want to go down the many things I've thought about. I just want to try to cut to the case.
No, okay. We agree that determinism is true. So you don't have to sell us there. And I don't care whether it's good or bad. I don't care about the utility of any idea.
I can explain more realism and why it's good too, but there's just lots of trains of thought.
I'm telling you I don't care because I only care if it's true, not what are the good or bad ramifications of it being true. Don't care. Sorry, that might be a character flaw in me. Don't care. I think this is essentially a nothing burger, John. Do you agree that we should move on to other calls, perhaps?
Yeah, there's definitely more interesting calls, but I kind of feel like the unification of all minds is basically a description of the Borg. And I feel like you're just making an argument for a Borg god.
I can explain why it's good, but you guys really don't seem like you want to listen.
It's not that we don't want to listen. It just sounds like it's a bunch of bullshit that we don't care about.
It would just take me hours to explain all of the reasoning, and then,
but also,
this is a 2-hour show.
It also doesn't get us anywhere to what this show is about is these supernatural gods, right? So
supernatural things can't exist. They can't exist. That's my whole point.
Well, that's so then I guess we'll just shake hands. I don't actually agree that they can't exist because I just haven't been told what it even means.
Supernatural things as things that are impossible. So by definition, they don't exist.
No,
because that's how we define it.
Okay, then you are an incredibly uninteresting person to talk to at parties because you define your position into reality. I'm not defining it into reality. Logic defines what is real, and I'm just trying to discern that. You just said supernatural things cannot exist, and that's the definition for you of supernatural things. If that's your definition of things,
I don't believe in causation from nothing.
Okay, I am done, John. Are you?
I'm similarly done. Thank you, Michael, for calling in. I hope that maybe you can call in another time.
Right.
Maybe when Forrest is here.
You guys disappoint me so much. I'm sorry I disappointed you.
I really don't give a fuck whether or not I disappoint random person on the internet number 4,332,000.
We should want to talk about what he wants to talk about, John. That's the way that works. We all should care about what Michael
reality
wanted to talk
revolves
about.
around Michael, guys. We're all constructs in Michael's mind here, and we all need to surf Michael, the great Michael.
Hey, if you liked this video, why don't you click that like button?
And if you didn't
That's
like it,
you would
subscribe.
Say. Okay.
You didn't even give me a chance.
There was such a long pause.
What are you on speed or something? I barely had a chance.
Try again. Hey, I hope you liked. Hey, I hope you. Fuck. Hey there. I hope you liked that clip. Hey, I hope you liked that clipper just now. The one that you just watched with your eyes. If you did like it, why don't you click that like button?
And if you didn't like it, tell Jimmy to go fuck himself.
Hey, I hope you liked that clip right now. If you did like it, why don't you hit that like button?
And if you didn't like it, go ahead and subscribe anyway.